Up and running. Yes.
Recording in progress.
Good afternoon, everyone. This meeting is now called to order. Just let me apologize profusely for our late start. We really wanted to get our Zoom link as well as our YouTube link on in this meeting because our numbers are great in terms of our student population numbers as well as our teachers. So here we are and we are ready to go. And you would have usually had time to register. We thank you for that. And we thank you that you have stayed the course and you are still with us. Thanks for bearing with us, thanks for waiting on us. These are some benefits that we have with technology. With all the advantages it has, this is some of the disadvantages. But we want to thank you for bearing yourself and we are going right into the meeting. At this time, we will ask Mrs. Waters McLeod to come with us with prayer and reflection. Mrs. McLeod, she is the PTA Secretary.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everybody. This evening, I'm feeling so grateful. So grateful. How about you? You can put an emoji in the chat how grateful you are. Yes, 2021 has passed, and we are now facing 2022. And because we're alive and well in this pandemic, thank you. I see those coming in. Thank you so much. Yes, we're alive and well, and we're feeling grateful this evening. Even in this pandemic, I know some of us would have lost loved ones, somebody we know would have lost somebody, but yet we stand this evening being grateful to be alive. We stand grateful to fellowship with our parents and students on this platform for this occasion, to listen, to be informed about the way forward for our children, right? So we want to just reflect on Psalm 121, verse 1. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help, and my help cometh from the Lord. And we can attest to that because God has been our help in times when we are down, feeling frustrated, feeling that we can't make it to 2022, but we are here. Amen. We are here and we're alive and we're giving God thanks this evening because truly we are indeed grateful. Amen. Let me see you write an amen in the chat because we're feeling grateful. I'm feeling grateful, and I know that you are feeling grateful this afternoon to be on this platform with the school population. Praise God. I see some raised hand. Bless the Lord. Grateful. Great are you, Lord, and grateful we are for your presence. And we are about to pray. Thank you, Lord. We give you thanks, Lord, this evening. Heavenly Father, throughout the span of time, Lord, you have showed us your love and mercy, made perfect and through our Lord Jesus Christ. Lord, in discussing our matters concerning our children and our school, keep us all safe under your divine protection. Be the creativity and the strength, Lord, and the wisdom of our administrators, Lord, teachers, and custodians. Keep keep them healthy and hold in their body, mind, and spirit. Be the confidence, the discipline, the knowledge of our student. Preserve them, Lord, emotionally, mentally, and physically. Be the comfort and supply. Be the comfort and the supply, Lord, because you are our supplier. Grant them everything they need, their loving support, and sustain their family, Lord. Sustain our families, Jesus. Bless our academic year 2021 2022. As you once led your people through the wilderness, Lord, by the hand of Moses and Aaron. Continue to guide us in this time when many things still remain uncertain by the hand of Jesus, your divine Son. In our union, you are, and your Holy Spirit, one God forever and ever and ever. And we all say, Amen and Amen. Over to you, Miss Beckford, with the song. Thank you very much.
Some days I am, some days out, but I will not give up. No, I won't let go. I know God will make a way for me. Yeah. Oh, I did troubles on the left, troubles on the right. Trusting in you, oh God, I know I'll be alright. I know God will make a way.
Who will make a way? God will make a way for me. God will make a way for us. Parents, students, good afternoon, and welcome to this meeting. This meeting promises to be a short one. Even although we started late, it promises to be a short one because our main focus for today is to walk us through in terms of our preparations for face-to-face modality. God will make a way for us. What a year it has been. Um, since the 2022 academic year, last year, the entire year was about COVID. For the little time we had for face to face, it targeted our exit exam students. We're looking forward to move to the new normal, where the new normal is the normal, where all our students come out to school. Unfortunately, though, we won't be having all our students coming out initially. So it will be a phase basis and we will continue with a blended modality of learning. So parents, bear with us. We'll walk you through and let you know all that we will be doing with regards to moving into that face-to-face modality of learning. God has kept us and He will make a way for us. Bridgeport High School, we stand strong and we will be here always as a resilient people, as a resilient school. And we will be here and ensure that what we do to ensure that our students learn and learn well. It will happen through the online modality, blended approach, and eventually when we get back to our normal face to face. With this said, just want to move to courtesies and just want to wish for all of us a happy new year. And we wish for you a healthy one, a prosperous and a productive year. So we can see our dreams realized and we can see our blessings flowing. We, as was indicated from our devotion coordinator, Mrs. Walters McLeod, some of us, many of us, would have had persons who have lost, you would have lost someone throughout this time of the pandemic. Some persons lost few persons, many persons within their family. And it has been a time for reflection. It has been a time that some of us may question. But this time it has not been a time ever like this for a very long time in our history. And we're moving and we're learning a lot of things in order to how we take care of our space, how we take care of ourselves, and to ensure that we're continue to be a healthy bunch. So we want to pray with you. We want to ask God coverage over you, over your lives, over your family, as you grieve the loss of your loved one. But on the brighter side, we know persons have celebrated. You have celebrated your birthdays, another milestone. We've celebrated Christmas, not too long. Celebrated anniversaries. Let us give God thanks for what is it that we have today. We have life. We have the gifts of friendship. We have our family here. We have a family here at Bridgeport High School. Let us give God thanks. And we will celebrate with those persons who have, for one, in one way or another, have acquired their education, personal asset, whatever you have done, give God thanks for all of that. We're going to be moving now into our greetings. And Dr. Levy is our board chairman. Dr. Levy, are you here? He has sent his greetings, so I will read his message. Let me take this opportunity to wish the Bridgeport family a healthy, prosperous, and productive new year on behalf of the board. We certainly recognize that our challenges caused by this pandemic will not leave us anytime soon. So we are in this together for the long haul. Nevertheless, we are encouraged by the approach of our staff, parents, and students in managing the many and varied challenges. We just want to reassure each and everyone that you have our understanding and support, and together we shall overcome. Let us remain united, driven, and motivated in our efforts to achieve excellence despite the challenges. Just remembering that adversity always brings opportunities for success. God bless you all. Dr. Dane Levy, School Board Chairman. We have next our greetings from the Ministry of Education, our Education Officer, Mrs. Karine Reed Clark. I noticed she was on board. I'm not too sure if she's still in the meeting. Mrs. Reed Clark, are you here? And our PTA president. Next is our PTA president, Miss Morrison. So parents, we will continue, and before PTA president comes in or our EO comes in, we will allow them at the time to bring greetings. So we will continue with our agenda, and our priority matters, resumption of face-to-face modality. At this time, I'm going to, just let me pause. There are two hands up. Galaxy S9, I'm just trying to recognize if that's Miss Reed Clark. Miss Beckford, could you allow?
I am here. Good afternoon. Are you hearing me clearly?
Yes, we are hearing.
Okay. Unfortunately, I had some difficulty logging in, so I would have changed location. So I hope that it has improved. But I just want to wish the entire Bridgeport family a happy new year. I know that quite a number of parents are very, very happy because we are about to begin the resumption of school. But I just want to you know, do some background prior to you giving your details. I just want to remind the parents that as a ministry, as we plan for the reopening of school, please remember that we are still in a pandemic. We ask that you play the responsible role, especially for grade 7 students who have never been to high school, to remind them of the importance of following the protocols. But before that, I just want to put it in context. All schools in the region, all 120 public schools in the region were required by the ministry to meet the standards established by the Ministry of Health. So there were two main documents, the COVID-19 checklist and the institutional checklist. Now, Bridgeport High School is among the high schools that satisfactorily passed all of that. And this is very important because it indicates that Bridgeport would have implemented the correct hand wash stations. They would have ensured that they have the isolation room. They would have put in place a strategy that they demonstrated to the Ministry of Health that they are able, ready, and willing to ensure that the protocols and the required sanitization is done at school every day to ensure that all our children are safe. And that is the most important thing. We want our students to be safe. We want the staff to be safe. We want to ensure that as parents, when you are picking up your children in the evenings or when they come home to you, we do not continue the spread of COVID. Yes, we can't avoid it, spread will go on, but we have to ensure we minimize it as much as possible. So parents, it is up to you to play your part at home when they are coming out in the mornings, that they have their masks on, that they have their sanitizer in their bag, and you remind them that they do their social distancing. What I observed not too long ago, I was passing a bus stop. None of the children had masks on, and they were sitting in laps and they were doing all of these things. It is important that as we at the school try to maintain the standards, we want you to try as best as possible at home. We all have our part to play, and as parents, you have a major part to play. A major part because you have to remind them that this is not about school rules and this is not about government policy. This is about ensuring that the grandmother that is at home, that the uncle is that is at home that may have comorbidities, that we do not bring COVID into them. So we try as much as possible to be safe at school, to be safe on the way to school, to be safe at home, so we can ensure that we reduce the spread as much as possible. So what we're trying to build confidence that when your children come to us, they're safe, and we want to establish that same confidence. We want you to establish it at home, that when the children come home, that you are ensuring that you play your part. So your team at Bridgeport High, they have done every single thing possible. Mrs. Harris, the board, and I know that you would have been in discussion with them. Just remember, parents, you have your role to play. And outside of the fact that you have to deal with COVID, we want you to remember that the aim of school is teaching and learning. So even though we have been distracted over the past 2 years by a million and one things, the aim of school is teaching and learning. We have quite a number of our grade 11 students who will be doing exams this year. Parents, it is important that you pay keen attention to them. They've been out of school for a long time, so you have to be more stringent with the study patterns. Let them do their timetables. Ensure that you provide the support to them. Because I am telling you, I have a teenager at home and I totally understand what it is like. So we have to ensure that we establish certain boundaries. We put in the rules that are required to ensure that these children end up doing well. It doesn't make sense for the school to be doing everything, and when the child comes home, the environment at home says, okay, you can do anything that you want. No, we want you to remind them that this year is an exam year and they have to pay keen attention and they have to submit their SBAs. I mean, SBAs is almost the most important thing right now for grade 11 students. Because if anything happens, we have to resort to reviewing those SBAs with a keen eye. So ensure that your children complete their SBAs. Ensure that they study. As a parent, I want you to ensure that you know the CXC timetable so that the teachers don't have to be calling on the morning of the exam to remind you to send out the children for exam. So it's a partnership. Parents, you play your part. We at the ministry, we play our part. The school plays its part, and the community plays its part. So we're asking that you try your best to see how well you can support the school. It is very difficult. So we ask that if you have masks, that you can support, you can give masks to your form class if they need additional masks. Try to support the process as much as possible. Try to ensure that, even though there are problems, that you try to come up with the solutions instead of just finding problems. You just come up with a recommendation. You call Miss Harris and you say, Miss Harris, I think this would be a good idea if we did this. So we are very open to your recommendations. We're open to your suggestions. And we, as much as you may not even understand the workload on the teachers when schools are not face to face. And I want you to have some empathy to our teachers. And I want you also to congratulate the hard work that the teachers have done during this time. And I am telling you, I am a teacher by profession. And I have seen some teachers, they have gone above and beyond to ensure that our students are fully engaged and that teaching and learning is occurring. So I want to congratulate the Bridgeport family because you have done a fabulous job of ensuring that these children are engaged online. And know that we are going to resume face to face. You have put in every single strategy that we have asked of you from the ministry to put in. And for that, we are grateful and we commend you. I will be on this meeting up to probably the next hour. So if you have any questions, if you have any queries, I am available when it is the question and answer section, and I will provide as much information as I have available to me. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good afternoon.
Thank you so very much, Mrs. Reed Clark. And Mrs. Reed Clark is our Community Relations Education Officer. Could almost wrap up the meeting, but we are going to let you know what is it at Bridgeport High School that we're doing and how we're planning to do and phase in the face-to-face resumption. Mrs. Reed Clark, she spoke and she tell us like it is. What is it? Our experience as a parent, as a teacher, and also as our supervisor within the Ministry of Education. Thank you so very much, Mrs. Reed Clark, and thanks for opening in terms of any question that parents would like to ask. Parents, if it is that you would like to ask the Ministry Education Officer questions, you can type it in the chat, and because she may not be here for the entire duration of the meeting, I will allow those directed questions for her to answer them. All right, so we will move on, and I want to apologize for our PTA president. She's still currently at work and is unable to log on because of the issues she's having, so she's unable to log on. So she may come on a little later if she finishes work before the meeting ends. Our chairman also is on his way with this to the meeting, and he should be in shortly. So thanks again, and we will now continue with those matters, and I will again share the screen. And we will look at in terms of the readiness for our face-to-face classes. Parents, I just want to say, you know, I want to say, no, we're ready. We're really, really ready. We have been approved by the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health and Wellness, satisfactory in terms of COVID-19 compliant, ready and rearing to go for face-to-face classes. We also have adequate workstations, 13 in fact, right across the campus at strategic areas. You don't have to move too far from your class to reach a workstation. Our corridors are marked out in terms of walking directions, as well as our 6-foot social distance. Our classrooms are stacked with desks and chairs. We had to hack our classroom to capacity, so students will sit in every other bench. We are ready for school. All the things that we have in terms of our temperature check and our recorder and our books and so on, for registration, we have those ready. What we have been doing since the 4th of January is taking in students from grades 10 to 13 for face-to-face classes. We do that on a scheduled basis, even although they do have additional classes online. And with that said, I'm just going to be asking Ms. Beckford to move through with item 8 and item 9, looking at our face-to-face classes now as we have it, doing a review, and also to look at some issues we have in terms of, or to speak to you in terms of how you monitor your child or ward at home with the electronic devices. Ms. Beckford.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Harris. I was wondering, Mrs. Harris, Dr. Levy actually came in, so I'm not sure if we would want to give him the opportunity to speak now or after.
Dr. Levy, do you want to come in now or after Ms. Beckford?
Good evening, Mrs. Harris, Mrs. Beckford. Good evening to all the parents and all the other members of staff present in the meeting, and to our education officer. I think I'll allow Ms. Beckford to go ahead. I wouldn't want to interrupt the flow of the meeting at this time. So I'll come in after Ms. Beckford does her update.
Okay, thanks so very much, Doc. So Ms. Beckford
Okay.
will take us through. She's the acting vice principal for grades 10 to 13, and these are the students who are presently here with us face to face.
All right. Thank you so very much, Mrs. Harris. Thank you, parents. Thank you, students, for being here. Colleagues who are here, thank you, and good evening to everyone. We have been having our face-to-face classes along with our online classes. As Mrs. Harris said, the grades 11, 12, and 13 have been coming in, and we have done a schedule that I'm sharing with persons. So there's a schedule like this. It has been shared in almost all the groups. So parents, all you would need to do is look to see if the class subject is listed for the various days. So you have the days, the times that they're supposed to come in, the class, the teacher, the subject, and of course we have numbers just to ensure that we are uh, compliant in terms of or the numbers that we're accommodating. So we have for this week and next week the schedule. We have released the schedule for this week. Everything is work in progress. So by later today, early tomorrow, we'll release the schedule for next week for students to come in for face-to-face class. We're asking parents, students to work very, very closely with the schedule, and it has been working. It's something that we've been doing before. I'm going to stop sharing this for a while, and we will share that information with you in in short order. We have been having very, very good, fairly good turnout. The numbers could be a bit better. The numbers could be a bit better. We have our fifth and sixth form students. Now, parents, please rest assured that we're doing all that we can to safeguard your children once they come to us. Teachers, if it is that they are thinking that they maybe would have been exposed or they're not feeling well, teachers will let us know and we just revert to online. But we're doing all that we can to ensure that persons are safe, and we just ask that you work with us. One of the things that I've noticed though is that there are a number of students who still have not been coming out. So we are asking that students from the various classes, once it's face to face, that you come out. Now, we give you enough time to return home to log into the other classes, or as happened today, there were some students who were there who thought that they would not have been able to make it back home. And so they just logged on at school for the other classes. But for the most part, we give you the opportunity to go back home in the safety of your and comfort of your home to do the other classes. For persons especially who are doing the practicals, we're asking please that you try make a very, very special effort to come. Um, we have our tuck shop up and running. Persons are usually here for 2, 3 hours, and usually they just need a snack. We have a few persons who are there for the entire day based on the subject mix that they do. We have for you snacks that you can partake of, and of course, we would give you enough break. We are going to ask, please, that once you come, students, that you try as much as possible to conform as much as possible to the rules. For those persons who are online, so that's it for the face-to-face class. So we will do that until next week, and then afterwards, Mrs. Harris will tell you how we move from there. But for the persons who are online, and since I have the parents here, parents, I'm going to ask that you help us. And, we have to work together. So our darling, dear children will find very creative ways of doing what they need to do. And one of the things that I have realized that our children are doing is that some are on their electronic devices very, very, very late in the night. Parents, we're going to ask if it means that you, when you're going to bed, that you secure the devices, that you do so. I've had occasion 1 a.m. my phone rang and there were students who were online with each other, doing live face-to-face calls at that time. So parents, please just help us. They get very excited. So we just want to try and save them from themselves. So help us please to secure the devices. There are various apps that can be placed on the device that will lock down the device or secure the device in terms of what sites they can go on. But they're children, so they're going to find workarounds. Speak with them and help them to see the importance of just sticking to what it is that will help them to do much better in school. The classes that we have begin at 8 at school and they go down to, depending on the class, on the teacher, 4. All right. But for the most part, we go 8 to 2, 3. But there are some classes that will end 4 until they go home. We're asking parents whether it's online or if they're coming face to face that they be monitored very carefully. One other very, very, very important point, and this applies now and also when we will be fully out as a group. If it is that the household is having issues, there are persons in the household who are having issues, they're ill, the child is ill, but well enough to move about, we're going to ask, please, that you be mindful of the fact that it may cause problems at school. So if they're ill and they come to school, it may cause a problem. So we're going to ask parents to be very vigilant. If it is that the children are not well, we will help to monitor. But I'm sure you would have been hearing the news. It's not only fever. So we would have been checking for temperature, but it's not temperature only. So if it is that they're displaying other symptoms, we're going to ask, please, that you be very, very mindful. If one child comes in a class of 10, 15, then they're going to go home with this virus and it's going to spread. So we're going to ask parents, please just work with us in that regard. All right. Thank you so very much for your time, parents. Thank you so very much for um, entrusting your children with us. And we have to us, and we have been doing, and we will continue to do all that we can to safeguard them and to ensure that they come back safely to you. I will not reiterate what our ministry representative has already said, but simply to endorse and ask that we work together to ensure that we provide um, total education for our students. Thank you so very much. Mrs. Harris, back to you.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Beckford, our acting vice principal for grades 10 to 13. And also, she's the team leader for the tech team. I'm going to be asking Dr. Levy to come at this time. Dr. Levy is our school board chairman and he will speak to us briefly. Dr. Levy?
Hi again, Mrs. Harris. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity that you have given me to address the meeting in person, or well, face to face, not quite so, virtually. What the technology has done for us, it's amazing. Good evening, parents. Good evening, one and all. Good evening again to our education officer. Good evening to Mrs. Harris, all the members of staff, Ms. Beckford, Ms. Karen Beckford, all the members of staff of Bridgeport High School. A wonderful good evening to you, even in the time of facing all of these challenges. Thanks, Mrs. Harris, for reading that little message that I sent. I see that presently we have 497 participants in the meeting. I think that's a very good so far. We could do a bit better, but I think we are doing wonderfully well at this point in time. And we just want to ask all the parents to encourage those parents that are close to them to get more involved, to get involved, to attend the meetings, to keep abreast of what is going on. We know that we are facing somewhat of an information overload, but if it's the correct information we're getting, which I can assure you that you are getting the correct information from the staff, from the principal, from the Ministry of Education's rep, I can assure you that you are getting, oh, we have reached a 500 mark. You are going to get the correct info. It is important for us to have the correct information on which to make our decisions. We have to have correct information, reliable information, trustworthy information on which to make our decisions. I know it's a challenging time for us all, but we need to have the correct information, and we need to remain motivated to get the students out. We know the deficit that has come as a result of the lack of face-to-face interaction in our education system. And so just want to encourage you parents on behalf of the board of Bridgeport High School. We are committed to working with our principal, all members of staff, and with the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health and Wellness. We are committed to working together to make this thing work. I want to endorse what Miss Beckford said concerning the if there's any indication that any one of the children, any one of your children, speaking to the parents now, any one of your children has what we would call something, a common cold or sinus or a little flu, please keep them home until it is cleared up, because the virus, the presentation, in other words, the symptoms in which the virus is coming out is a little bit different from what it used to be. And so what we might think is a little cold or a little flu or a little sinusitis might very well be the Omicron virus, the Omicron strain of the virus. And so we need to be vigilant. We need to be our brother's keeper. We need to treat and love our neighbors as ourselves, because we would not want, for example, if it was not your child and that child went to school, you would not want the possibility of infection spreading from that child to your child, and then your child bringing it home. And we are never sure what the outcome of it will be, not absolutely. We are still learning a lot about this virus, and we are still learning to cope in this pandemic environment. Mind you, I think we have done wonderfully well. I think you've all done wonderfully well. As Mrs. Harris pointed out, Bridgeport is ready. Ministry of Health and Wellness has confirmed that we are ready. Ministry of Education has confirmed that we are ready for face-to-face, but we have to make it work. We have to be committed to to stick to the protocols, and to be very vigilant, and to just be concerned about each other's welfare when we make the decisions whether or not our child should remain home or should be sent to school in the face of any symptoms that would suggest that they have some kind of an infection, which we are not absolutely sure about exactly what it is. The ministry and both ministries, Ministry of Health and Wellness and Ministry of Education, are taking as many steps as can be possible. They are working overtime. And so I want to encourage you to let us all work together. As I said in that little message that Mrs. Harris read, that adversity breeds opportunities, and it can bring out the best in us if we consider doing what is best, not just for ourselves, but what is best for the whole school family, and also for our family as well. So thanks again. I embrace the opportunity, Mrs. Harris. I embrace the opportunity to address the meeting. Technology has changed the way we interact and interface, but our commitment has not changed. Our commitment as a board has not changed, and we are committed to working with members of staff, all categories of the members of staff of the Bridgeport High School, the whole Bridgeport family. The board is committed to working with you as one to get the best out of this advert, to make the best of the opportunities that present themselves to us. So good evening. Thanks again. Please participate in the meeting as much as you can. Get all your questions answered as much as you can. Follow the protocols, not just for the meeting, but for how we operate with each other. And just be vigilant and be observing of the protocols that have been established. They're there to protect us. They're there to protect our children. They're there to protect our family. They're there to protect the extended Bridgeport High School family. God bless you all and good evening once again. At some point, I will have to leave the meeting, but please continue to make your contribution in an orderly fashion. Thanks, Mrs. Harris. Thanks, Ms. Beckford. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity to say a few words to address this meeting. God bless you all, and thanks again.
All right, thank you so very much, Dr. Levy. And Dr. Levy, our chairman, is also a medical doctor, and he works in the Bridgeport Edgewater community. Thanks so very much. What better person to hear from in terms of how we go about operating into the modality of the pandemic. Dr. Levy had alluded to the number of persons we have on Zoom. Our platform is 500, but we are also on the YouTube link. So we want to welcome all the persons who have logged on to the YouTube link, which we have over 200 persons on the link. Welcome, welcome, welcome to you all. Those on the Zoom platform as well as on the YouTube link. As we continue with our meeting, we promised that it would have been a short one, so we're going to move right on. So we are now going to be moving to our next item on the agenda, the changing of our shifts. We talk about changing of shifts. If we were on the shifts coming in physically, we would be changing our shifts at the end of semester. We're actually going to be changing some classes at that point. So I'm going to be asking parents, for parents of grades 7, 8, and 9, there are some subjects that students do half the year. For example, visual arts and agriculture. If you did visual arts, you will be doing agriculture next semester. If you did home and family, this semester you're going to do industrial techniques next semester. So those subjects that we do half year each, those will be changed at the next semester. So within the week of the exam week, we're going to ask parents and students to look out for the invitation to join those classes, because you will have a new class but with new teachers. All right. Parents, I want to make a special appeal to you for students to participate in devotional exercise every morning. We are strong in faith, and we know that God has protected us and kept us for a good reason. And for that, we start off our school every day, either it is online or face-to-face with devotion. For the general devotion, we have general devotion for grade 7 on Mondays, 7:30 to 8. For grades 8 and 9, 7:30 to 8. And for grades 10 to 13 on Fridays. So Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, grade 7 on Mondays, 8 and 9 on Wednesday, and grade 10 to 13 on Fridays. At this point, we're going to be moving on to, internal exams. Internal exams begin on the week of the 17th to the 28th. And we are going to be doing parents, we are going to be doing examinations online. Our volume of students, we have 1,627 students for student cohort, total population. It's hard to keep all our students now for that 2-week period for exams. So we're going to be having them online. We're going to be having, however, math and English exams, paper 2 only for grades 11 to 13, physical and the physical modality. So it's grade 11 to 13, paper 2 for math and English in the face-to-face modality during the examinations period. All right. At this point, we will take Mrs. Roberts Clark, and she will be speaking to you with regards to the external examinations update. And please note for external examination, there are some grade 11 students, particularly there are some 12T students who, for whatever reason, found it difficult or challenging to have paid or met the deadline date for payment for exam fees last year. She will be speaking on how that can be resolved at this time. Ms. Roberts Clark, our exam coordinator.
Good evening, everyone. All protocol observed. I will say thanks to God for allowing us to be happy new year, everyone. Now, back on when exam fees were to be paid, and some persons didn't know where it was coming from, but God has made a way. Thank you, Ms. Dion Walters. God has made a way. I must thank Principal, Ministry of Education, the PTA Association, and the Past Students Association, the PTA and the Past Students Association, and all those have assisted parents so that they could pay for their students or pay for their child. Now students are registered and they are on their way. Now they have the SBA contact with. So before I go to the SBA, there are some students.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Roberts Clark, you're breaking up somewhat.
Oh, it could be the internet. I am control over that.
All right, Ms. Roberts Clark, I'll just review the aspect here.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, breaking up quite a bit.
Okay, no problem.
I'm sorry about that, parents. With regards to the external exams, I'm just adding what Ms. Roberts Clark would have said for the PT and past students. We want to thank you so very much. They really contribute immensely, particularly to students who had challenges paying, and they offset the cost of part of their fees for quite a bit of students. So we want to thank them for that. The SBA deadlines for students to hand in to teachers are on February 28th, and this is the deadline. Persons, teachers may have been working, and if they ask for the first draft, please give the teachers those first draft. It is good for that to be done, because when it is that you send in a first draft, it is corrected and you get it back again to do, you do a better job. And if you get to go in your exams with a 38 out of 40, 40 out of 40, you're sure that you can get a grade 1 or grade 2. So we ask you to do your very best and meet the SBA deadlines. Many a times we get students who give in the SBA after the deadline, hurry up and do something, and the grades are really low. So I want to ask that you get that done. CXC, as usual, facilitate students if it is that you did not get to reach the deadline, the original deadline for paying those CXC fees. I know we have possibly a handful of persons who did not pay exams. We're asking parents, please watch out for the notice. We will send it out to you when we are notified by CXC. And note also that late payment of CXC examination fees attract a cost. And it usually starts from $100 US up. And the later it gets, it's more money. So we're appealing to parents, please ensure that when school begins in September, be ready with CXC exam fees, because by October you have to pay. And this goes for grade 10 students going to grade 11, grade 7 and 8 that are going to do accelerated program and will do exams in grade 9 or grade 10. Please, exam fees are ready by October, and it should be paid October month end, sometime early November, but get it ready. We will move on in terms of vaccination, and all of this is in readiness for face-to-face class. Parents, we are at this time, we'll launch a new survey to determine our status, because we are of the opinion that when we got the vaccination status last year, when we did the survey, you can see from the table here that only 19.6% of our students at the time were either fully vaccinated or partially vaccinated. 24% of our population and were fully vaccinated. 14% were partially vaccinated. And this was at December 2, 2021. We are going to pause at this time and we're going to launch a new survey, and parents, we're asking you to pick up the link, respond so we can get that. We really need to be informed where we are as a school. Right now, it's very, very low in terms of the vaccination rate. And I think at that time, it was early days, but now we know that we are getting back to school. We want to launch a new survey to find out where our students are at this particular point in time. So at this point, I'm going to ask Ms. Beckford to go ahead and to do the launch of the new survey for the vaccination status. So it is placed in the chat. It is placed in the chat. So parents, we're going to give it 2 minutes. Just ask you to respond. It won't take any long time, and we're pausing just to allow for that. I'm going to ask Adriana Francis if you could just type the questions that you have in the chat, and I will respond in this time.
Mrs. Harris?
Yes, go ahead, Ms. Beckford.
The link has also been placed in the chat on YouTube. So the link is here and also on YouTube. So persons can go ahead and answer. You will have to sign in using your Gmail account. Please be careful. You will have one. It's limited. You will have one opportunity to, so please ensure that you do it well the first time. If you have 2 or 3 students, you can attending the school, you can have one of the students responding from their email account while you respond from yours. All right. Thank you, Mrs. Harris.
Thank you so very much, Miss. Okay, I'd ask in the meantime, while we're using this few minutes to answer the survey, I just answer the question from Adrena. Miss, when can I take my ID picture? We will organize for that when we come back, and I will walk through with you in terms of the schedule that we have for the grades for face-to-face. We will work in terms of IDs when that will happen. If the child is not vaccinated, will that stop the child from attending class? No, we don't have that directive from the ministry, but we are imploring parents to have the child vaccinated for the safety of you, parent, and for the safety of your family and for others. However, when once students are coming, please ensure that you protect yourself, keep on your mask. We have an issue. We heard Mrs. Reed Clark from the ministry spoke to it as well. There are students who will keep on the mask at school and go outside and take it off. Keep on your mask. We have to learn to protect ourselves at this time. The email is placed in the chat, so we're asking persons please to utilize it and answer so we can have a better response as to where we are as a school with our vaccination status of our students. And parents, may I say, we also did an earlier survey with our staff, all our staff, and in November when we carried out that survey, we were 60% in terms of vaccination. The staff members, most of our staff members were vaccinated at that time, and many persons that had either gone to do the vaccination at the blitz that we had here or went to the clinic. So most of our staff members, including ancillary administrative security and our teachers, are vaccinated.
Mrs. Harris, if I may, please.
Yes, go ahead.
Parents, students, if you have already completed a form that was from December, what we'd like to do is to repeat the form, repeat the survey. So we're asking, please, if you would be kind enough to just answer again because we want to capture what is happening at this time. Thank you.
Thanks so very much, Ms. Beckford. And I'm just going to answer these and I go back to the agenda. In terms of taking your device, students are responsible. If they take their device to school, you have to ensure that you protect your device and take care of it. The school is not responsible if it is lost from you. So ensure if you take your device, you ensure that you protect it. And students are not allowed to use their cell phones in class. If it is that you take it, do not use it in class for personal reason or for doing things. It must be, if it is that your teacher will be utilizing it, it is for that purpose if you're going to use it in class. All right, so I will head back to the agenda. And the agenda, what we have on the agenda will answer some of the questions that I saw. Face-to-face schedule. Ms. Beckford would have spoken to you with regards to face-to-face that we have started at the beginning of January, and this will continue until next week for grades 10 to 13. The schedule that also goes hand in hand with online classes. So we have a blended modality of learning at present with grades 10 to 13, and we are going to continue. The timetables for the face-to-face schedule that we will have coming up, we will change it slightly because we will have to facilitate for different days that students will come on face-to-face and for the days that you will have to stay home and continue online. Grade 7 will be doing Mondays and Fridays. Grades 8, Tuesday and Wednesday, and grade 9, Monday and Wednesday. So that's for the junior shifts. Grade 7, Monday and Friday, grade 8, Tuesday and Wednesday, and grade 9, Monday and Wednesday. Grade 10, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And for grades 11 to 13 will come for the entire week. We want to implore that is starting January 31, 2022. That is the start of second semester, and it will right after end of semester 1 exams are completed. All right, so that's the schedule that we have, pending all will go well, and we will have to follow the protocols and hear what the ministry says, but it's full speed ahead with regards to face-to-face and our schedule, and the students will get their timetable. I will also indicate that by early next week, the timetables for internal exams will also be made available. Orientation for face-to-face classes, and we're going to be doing orientation for grades 7, 8, and 9. And please note, parents, we're going to be doing orientation for grade 7 next week, Monday, the 24th. We will not have exam on that particular day. So grade 7 will come in for orientation, and this will go from 8:30 to 12 noon. Grade 8 will come in on the Wednesday, the 26th. You will not have exam on that particular day, 8:30 to 12 noon. And grade 9 will come for orientation. And this is a face-to-face orientation, 8:30 to 12 noon. We are doing this because grade 7 have not been at school as yet. Grade 8 would have had a COVID year in grade 7, so they are still new. Grade 9 would have had only 1 semester of face-to-face school. So I want to get you oriented to where we will have you the following week for face-to-face class. So we're going to do some basic orientation. We're going to be doing for grade 7, we will have to do a tour, and we will be doing them in manageable groups. Your form teachers need to know you, for one, because you know your form teacher on the screen. You will be introduced to your form teachers, and your form teachers will be walking through with you some of the rules and regulations that we have and to operate school, both with the online modality as well as face-to-face. And now moving into second semester, we're going to be doing the blended approach. So we really, really have to be structured, and we really have to be disciplined in order to maximize learning, because we're going to be doing this in the face-to-face. as well as online at the same time. So we're going to just run through a couple of things, parents, any other business. And if there are any burning questions that we did not answer, we will take them. The quiz team will have their first match, and I'm going to ask you, they have been doing their training at school, and we want to thank our past students. We have our past students who are the trainers, and Mr. Perry, who is the manager. We're going to go up against Charlie Mount on the 27th. That's our first match. So we want to thank our students who are part of that. And two, our clubs and societies, all our club meetings are held now online, except for the cadet. Cadet meets every other week in physical at school on a Saturday. The sports teams, in terms of football, junior football training will start next week. The boys would have been informed. They will start next week training, and we do training on the Nagohead field because our playing field is deplorable. And I would want to make a special appeal for any assistance that we can get, anything that we can get in order to allow us to get our field back to normal. I put parent involvement. I'm just going to deal with parent involvement and parent contribution. Parents, you have contributed. You have made your contribution. It is a contribution that you make. It is $21,500 for parents. We call it for the enhancement fee. We call it enhancement fee for the reason that we use parents' contribution for assisting with the development of the school. It's the enhancement fee. And you also pay $2,500. We want to thank for those persons who have made that contribution. We want to thank you so very much for persons who have not yet made a contribution. I'm going to ask you to do so. You can do the payments online and send that payment receipt to us via email. Those persons who have not yet and want to take your time to make payments, you can come in and speak with the bursar and make payments over time. We want to thank you for that because we have done so many things with the contribution that you have sent to us. The upkeep of our school generally. Many of times we have to use contribution for termite infestation. The entire periphery or walls that we have around our school, it's parent contribution that would have been utilized and fundraising activity and from the tuck shop. And you see the massive walls that we have because almost half of our school or a little less than half of our school is a playing field, and the entire campus has the walls around, and we want to thank you for that. In terms of getting items for sanitization, we normally have parents 2 water troughs at school, and we did not know how inadequate that was until COVID came in. This is an advantage. We now have 13 of them. We got donation for 3, but all the others, parent contribution, either through what we would have paid or from there are so many things that we do here at Bridgeport High School because of the contribution that you have done. And mark you, if you come, in terms of the setting and the plant itself, this is one of the best run schools around town. So I want you parents, as you feel so led, to continue to give that contribution. It is for your child and for the improvement of what we do here at Bridgeport High. We're going to be looking at the student leaders in terms of the election, and also I just want to bump in parents, the past students' contribution. We have more past students who have done well. They have contributed to us in terms of sometimes monetary, sometimes they come in physical, so to the PTA. We have this particular past student in the US, Samora Wright. She gave 10 tablets last year, and she came back and she gave another 10 tablets this year. And we want to thank them. We have contributed to those students who are in need of the tablets and how we got those when we're not seeing our students online, and the investigations are made between our guidance counselor, dean of disciplines, and grade supervisors and teachers. We see where best we can help, and we have done so. To remind us all that the help desk continues. It opens from 8:30 until 1:30. Ms. Beckford, 8:30 to 1:30 every day. 8:30 to
Mrs.
1.
Harris.
Yes. Until
1:30, Mrs. Harris.
yes. 8:30 to 1:30 every day. So parents, the link is online. If it is that you need to speak with someone directly, you can speak with the vice principal, you can speak with one of our administrative staff or lab tech. If you're having issues with logging on or about your device, how to get onto the Google platform, which we use for classes, you can come on. If it is that you're not too sure what is happening, what about face-to-face and so on, please log on to the help desk. And as I talk about what is happening, parents, there are some parents and some students who are of the view that school is starting again. Are we coming back to school? Please note, we have not closed school at any time. Remember, school online is just as great, just as superb, and we have done so much more online. And why I say so much more? Normally you would have to come into class and you get your work and you go home. Now you can go online and you see the workplace there. So just in case you did not remember what happened, you can go inside and inside the classroom, and the work is inside the classroom. School has been happening online. It's not just because we are moving face to face. Some persons think that school is just happening. We are finding some persons who are just coming out. We are glad that these persons are coming out, because online we have captured 80% of our student population. We want to capture 100% of our student population. School is online. And I want to say, I'm going to stop sharing this because I want to share something I shared with the parents earlier. I want to say to you, parents, when the students are coming out face to face now for school, they need to be properly groomed. They need to be in their full uniform. Please ensure that they do so. Let me see if I can find, most persons you would have gotten that correspondence. This one is for sixth form. I'm sorry, it seems as if. I'm sorry about this. So why am I not seeing? Okay. Okay, this is. Okay, so this is dress code for sixth form. We would have shared it with the students. And the cost. So we've shared it in the parents group, or the sixth form parent groups. These are the costs for, and the uniform, how it is. So I won't be reading through this because it was shared in the group. So please ensure if there are parents who are not in the sixth form group, either 12T, 13T, 12S, 13S. If you're not there, share with your form teachers, Miss Downer, Mr. Ellis, Miss Booth, Miss Chin, and Miss Ramdeen. Share with your form teachers, and they will get you in the grade group, so you can get that information. And we also share a similar one in terms of the uniforms, for getting ready for the uniforms for grades 11 to 13. At this point, Ms. Beckford, I'm going to ask you if there are questions that we would not have answered in the presentation. We could take them now.
Right, there are a few questions that I've been trying to pick up from the chat. So I'll just throw them your way, Mrs. Harris. There's one person who is asking if parents should be present for the orientation activity.
Oh, parents, I'm so very sorry, but no, we cannot accommodate. And you know, one of the first things is that the number of persons, no. We're so very sorry, but we're not able. I know grade 7 parents would be so enthused to come out, but we are not able to accommodate we're not able to accommodate parents because the sheer numbers of our grade 7 alone is 300. We can't take anybody else. So they will be scattered across the entire school compound. We can't take anybody else. Social distance and the works, but you can drop off your child and pick them up back. We will finish at 12 o'clock. You can pick up them at 12:30 because if not, they can wait under the gazebo. But no, we cannot facilitate. So sorry about that.
There are a number of persons, Miss, who have been asking about clubs, societies, track team, football team, how they would be able to join.
Mr. Thomas is the clubs and societies coordinator. I'm not too sure if he's here, but you can, I'm going to ask persons just to log on. I will share with you the clubs and societies sheet. We do have the clubs and societies flyers that have been going around in group, but we will collate those and send it and let you know, because each club have their link. As I said, for most clubs, they are online except for cadet. They're every other Saturday. Mr. Palmer is in charge, the teacher here. We will tell you all about that, and we will also provide a flyer for you with the different clubs and the times that they meet and the link to these meetings when it is that you come out to orientation next week.
Okay. One other parent is asking if we received, as an institution, COVID self-test kits.
No, we have not received that, and if it is coming, not as yet. What we have purchased, and we have sanitizer, we have our temperature check machine, but no self-kit. We haven't had those. That will take a little while to come to us.
Okay. With regards to the face-to-face school, there are persons who were asking about the shifts. So what grades will come in on what shift for the face-to-face engagements?
Oh, I thought you were answering that, Miss. Parents, we just mentioned that word, change of shift, but we are not really changing a shift, really. We are going right full day, as we do for online as well as face-to-face. We're really going to be changing semester, and what we're actually going to be doing is to change some subject areas, which is those subjects that we do half year, and we have to do another subject half year. So home and family, if you're doing home and family next year, you will do next semester you do industrial techniques. This next semester begins Monday, January 31 into February onwards.
All right. There are a number of questions related to when exactly the different grades are going to be coming in. So I'm not sure if we just want to say, Mrs. Harris, that some communication will be sent out detailing when exactly each group will come in, day and time.
Yes, Miss, in addition, and I will just reshare with the persons who have missed this. I'll just, oh, I'm sorry. Allow me, parents, this is what we would have shared with you already. The resumption of face-to-face classes. If there are parents here who are not in a group for whatever reason, please indicate. You can either come on the help desk and give the person on the help desk the information. We will put you into a grade group. If you want to put in the chat, you can inbox myself or Miss Beckford. She is with Bridgeport High School too. You can inbox either of us that information, and we can, your name, the child's name, and your number, and we will get you in the group. We normally put it in the group. Or we will send information to the parent exec body, so they will always have the information and can share with you. So this information was shared with you in terms of the resumption of face-to-face, particularly as it have to do with the uniforms. This is it. You can possibly take a snapshot of it. That's the cost of the uniforms, the different sizes, tunics for different grades and so on. That's the cost. So it's a roughly 1,800 to 2,000, 2,000 something for either a blouse skirt or Oxford shirt. Sixth form, the same thing. I just shared it with you. So those are the costs. I will also again share with you, parents, the agenda that has the days that the students will come in beginning. This is it.
Mrs. Harris?
Yes, miss?
I'm sorry, before you go there, still on the uniform, there were persons who were asking where and when they can purchase uniforms.
At school, Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. I'm trying to get this as big as possible. So, okay, so these are the days for the face-to-face for all grades, starting January 31st, grade 7, Monday and Friday, and we will keep Monday and Friday. What we will do, however, is we will have a timetable that you will do for 2 weeks. We will have to rotate to another 2 weeks, but you will remain on Monday to Friday because there are some subjects we would want to ensure that you get to do all subjects at least once every 2 weeks in the face-to-face mode. So Monday and Friday, we will stick with the Monday and Friday. And for the other classes, it will be in the other days. So you will get a 2-tier timetable and we will send that to you. We will be walking through with the timetable as it is with the students, so they will understand what it is. So Monday and Friday, so we're going to be doing a brand new timetable for this blended modality to allow between students and parents not to be bombarded with trying to get home, because right where we are now, our bandwidth for teaching is not so very well at school. So it is better for many of our teachers, if they are doing the online modality, to be at home in this space. The ministry had promised to have the schools, all school including ours, we have at visitation to get the bandwidth increased. However, with a few of us here, we are having issues with the bandwidth, so we will be doing face-to-face here. There are a few students who may be able to log on, but we cannot accommodate the entire population for logging on because we don't have the bandwidth for the internet use. So we will have grade 7 Monday and Friday every week, Tuesday, Wednesday for grade 8. So we will keep this. We will keep this schedule, but we will be changing in terms of what is taught on a particular day. Yes, Ms. Beckford.
Mrs. Harris, can you speak to the dress mode of dress for orientation and for when they're coming to school? There are a number of persons who are asking if they should be in uniform for orientation.
Yes, in full uniform for all grades for orientation and for coming to classes. Full uniform, well groomed. And for those persons who are not sure about the uniform, what it is, the uniforms are sold at school. For the boys, it is just a shirt that is sold for grades 7 to grade 11 that is sold at school, and you get your khaki pants in the stores. You wear that with navy blue socks along with black shoes and black belt, neatly cut here. So we want to ensure that we are well groomed and look like we are at school and look like we are ready for working as students. So full uniform, and for those persons who are, for whatever reason, either you have outgrown the uniform you had last year or the year before, the office has uniforms in stock. And there is only grade 11 size 16 that is out for grade 11 size 16 blouse that is out. Grade 10 size 18 that is out, and the extra large blouse for grade 11 is out. Only those that are outstanding, but all the others are here, and parents can come and purchase their uniforms.
Mrs. Harris, can you speak to the opening hours for the office in terms of when uniforms can be purchased, please?
9 a.m. to 3 p.m. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Mondays to Fridays.
Also, there are persons who are asking about IDs. So persons who have already taken ID pictures, persons who missed the picture taking process for IDs, and persons who have not taken IDs.
Okay, for IDs, those persons who have taken IDs, if you did not collect, they are here, so you can ask about them when you come face to face. Or parents, if you pass through, you can ask Miss Banton, she usually has those. You can ask her for the IDs. If it is that you miss the ID picture taking day, we will set a date and we will inform you when that will happen. If it is that you have taken and it was lost, please watch out for the new date for picture taking for IDs.
Okay, there are questions also about vaccinations, if the school, if we will be having another vaccination place, if students who have not been vaccinated can come. So not sure if you can speak to that. Dr. Levy is still with us, so I'm not sure if you will.
For the vaccination blitz, usually the Ministry of Health and Wellness dialogue with us and organize that. We have not gotten in terms of any engagement for a vaccination blitz either this week, next week. But as soon as we do, we will inform you and send it in the chat. However, if there are students who are here who parents, you need to take your child to do the vaccine. And please, just a reminder, please, if you have not done the survey so we can know where you are, if you are vaccinated fully or partially vaccinated, please do it now. Ms. Beckford, could you put it back into the chat again, please? If it is that you would like to do the vaccination, please note at the clinics, Greater Portmore Clinic, Waterford Clinic has it Spanish Town for those persons who are in Spanish Town. And I think, Dr. Levy, you still do the test at your office? Dr. Levy?
Mrs. Harris, while we await response,
could you allow me to do this, miss? Just allow me to do this. I just have a question about student leaders response. Parents and students, we just want to say to you, last year, latter part of last year, we carried out in terms of election, and students democratically cast their vote and they voted for the student council reps. The election of student council executive, please note that the president of the student council is also the person who sits on the school board and represent the students. So the person elected, was Reginald Gale from 11 BED. First Vice President Antonia Campbell, 13T. Second Vice President Javier Davis, 11 Arts. Secretary Monique Barif, 11 HEC. Assistant Secretary Danielle Simmons, 12T. Public Relations Officer Michaelia Irons, 10 BEB. Assistant PRO Pisania Long, 8O. Treasurer Daniel Booth, 12T, and Assistant Treasurer Akelia Peters-Gill. I want to say congratulations to our student leaders. And I know that most of our student leaders have been in training, and we want to continue to encourage our student leaders. Just today, I got a call from one of the officers who indicated that they met today and they have plans in terms of projects and so on moving forward. And one of their plans that they have between the student council executive as well as the prefect executive is that they are looking to do a peer homework program. So the bigger students, some students can help other students to do classwork or so on. So they are working it out in terms of exactly how they will do it, and we will inform you more. So congratulations to our Student Council Executive and also particularly to our student representative to the board, Readiness Gale of 11 BED. She's the president of the Student Council. For the head prefects, we had interviews and students were appointed based on their leadership ability, level of confidence, exceptional execution of duties, academic performance, positive attitude, and participation in co-curricular activities, among others. Must be a team player. Our head boy is Shamar Samuels of 13T. Head girl, LaShawn Lewis of 13S. First deputy head girl and is Devon Glanville, 12S, and Devon Glanville was our valedictorian last year. First deputy head girl, Dejanae Martel. Second deputy head boy, Sadiq Van Riel, 12S, and second deputy head girl, Keandra McCormack. These are our head prefects for 2021-2022. I want to say congratulations to them. They have quite a bit of work to do now that we are coming back out in the face-to-face modality. So the students will see them at orientation next week, both our student council leaders as well as our head prefects and prefects generally. So those are our student leaders, and we want to say congratulations to our students at this time on their elections and selection respectively. At this point, colleagues, we want to wrap up and we want to say thank you so very much for, yes, Miss?
I'm so very sorry. There's one other very important question that a number of persons have been asking. There are persons who would like to know if once we open for face-to-face class, if we will allow persons the option to remain fully online, or if for some reason the students are not able to come, for example, they are ill, if they will be able to remain online even when the others are here.
That is something that I know we will have to facilitate. So the teacher will definitely ensure, as we continue, as we did online, will ensure that all work is placed in the Google Classroom, even after the discussions on the face-to-face modality. In terms of the flexibility of having the live class, some teachers will be able to do that. I am a little cautious because we have two AV labs, and what we don't want to do is to have the students in the AV lab in the AC unit in a closed space. Really don't want to do that. But as much as it can be facilitated in the open classroom, we will do that. I know it's one of the things that we have spoken of in terms of utilizing the lab to do a dual presentation in class, teaching the class, and have, for example, anybody who is absent. But we don't want to do that in terms of the likelihood of spreading the disease or within a closed air-conditioned space with a number of students in. So what we will do, as much as it can be facilitated, it will, and students will not be short in terms of what material they will get. They have access to their teachers, and the teacher will continue to place the work in the Google Classroom for the benefit of all. So that's it, and I will just answer. We will not discriminate in terms of students who are vaccinated or not. Neither will we be asking for a vaccination card to present to us when you're coming in school. So students, come to school, ensure that you are protected, and we're just appealing to parents just to ensure that your child is vaccinated so can protect herself, you as a family, and your household, as well as the school population. I want to thank you so very much for joining, and we will have the presentation remain on the YouTube channel, Bridgeport High School Television. And as usual, for those persons who may want to, for any further question, you can log on to the Zoom help desk at 561-051-3799, and the passcode is 459149. 459-149. It's now 7:40. We must finish at this time because we have been going on for a little while. Thank you so very much for your time.
Recording stopped.
Parents, if you have additional questions, the help desk will be open. You can field your questions there, and you will be able to speak with persons who can give you some assistance. So I'll leave it up for another half a minute and then we'll close out. Thank you so very much.
Recording stopped.